I'm happy to be here today to share with you my favorite method of teaching art, Zentangle. And thanks, Barbara. You pretty much summed up all the things I was going to say in my intro. So I think what I'm going to do next, since this, you've heard the phrase, a picture tells a thousand words. So my best way of telling you about my program is really just to show you. So here we go. We'll jump right in. In a kindergarten through second grade Zentangle class, students will use larger tools and larger shapes to work on. Students often notice, before I even get a chance to point it out to them, that there are no erasers on their pencils. And I explain to them that there are no mistakes in Zentangle. This is a very freeing concept, and it gives the kids confidence to try something new and different. I ask the class about shapes and what kind of shapes that they like to draw. Then we practice drawing those shapes, and we practice shading on scrap paper. Students in these younger grades will either learn 2 patterns on one shape or 1 pattern on 2 separate shapes. Puzzle pieces are a lot of fun to pattern on. They make a really cool class piece, and they're a universal shape so that they connect with each other on any side. So let me quick demonstrate a couple of really fun patterns that are quite popular in the K-2 set. I created these patterns because they use very simple and familiar shapes with a little added twist. And let me say, students learn so much more than just creating beautiful images. They're learning terms such as logo, shaders, techniques in shading. They're even learning math skills like division, splitting up our spaces and shapes. They also firsthand learn about the side benefits to this meditative style of pattern drawing, and they demonstrate an increased level of focus while drawing. These funny little trees were part of a customized class, and this picture shows you the kind of customization that I put into my workshops. The school chose to use their wonderful and wonky little trees from their logo as their shaped tile. As much as I wish that we could be learning in person together, there are some added benefits to the virtual classes. As also noticed by artist Brent Daniels, who was previously showcased by Morris Arts, I too find that my virtual programs give students an opportunity to better see my instructions up close and in real time. We had so much fun in these classes, and I learned a lot from teaching these young and enthusiastic students. Some of my classes consisted of ESL students, and since my workshops are based so much on visual instruction, any possible language barriers were really no barriers at all. As a matter of fact, we all learned together new terms for our tools and the patterns that we were using. Here is a picture of their finished work. It's an incredible group piece for the school to display, and what fantastic artwork created by over 100 kindergartners. Custom themes are great because they can support a particular curriculum that the students might be learning, or in this case, give the students a real sense of pride in their school. I enjoy creating custom shapes and themes, and the ideas are limitless. Students in grades 3 through 5 will use a finer marker and learn up to 4 patterns on either a traditional square or a shaped tile. While drawing just 1 pattern and 1 pen stroke at a time, students experience a relaxed and mindful focus. Some have likened Zentangle drawing to yoga for the mind. And like yoga, to get the best benefits, you really do need to do it more than once. The same thing goes for Zentangle. It gets more amazing the more you do it. Meditative drawing becomes a positive outlet, and it draws you in. Students actually start noticing patterns all around them, and they want to try to put them into their drawings. They have the confidence to break those patterns down into the basic pen strokes that I've demonstrated. Simple pen strokes are the building block to all patterns. Students discover firsthand that just drawing 1 pattern at a time and literally focusing on just 1 pen stroke at a time, they can give their minds some much-needed breathing space. The pictures you see are group pieces from 4th graders. The workshops that we did were part of an all-school art day. The students did fantastic work, and the shapes were so much fun to work on. Themes can be modified for any age group, and they can be customized for your class. These seasonal themes are a lot of fun and make impressive displays for class-wide or school-wide projects. A prime example is this little holly sprig. Picture how cool each student's individual work would look put together as a group piece, which then also underscores how each individual is an integral part of the whole school community. Students in grades 6 and up are able to work with even finer tools, using a graphic artist-style pen, and they'll learn more complex patterns on many different shapes, including mandalas, or as I like to say, zendalas. Classes here can also explore adding color to their tiles, as well as experiment with the unlimited possibilities of patterning within a pattern. The lovely pandas you see here were created by 10th graders, and they were from a very special class. First, because it was the last class that I taught in person just before the pandemic, and second, it was a class that I volunteered for when asked by a school to come as part of a counseling team to help students deal with grief. I specifically chose the image of a panda for them to work with because this animal symbolizes quiet strength. I was honored to help these courageous students learn a fun and peaceful method of self-care. Speaking of self-care and the amazing benefits of Zentangle drawing, besides the beautiful little works of art that are created, I would like to address our wonderful teachers, staff, and administrators. Over the years, I've had the privilege of teaching Zentangle workshops to many faculty at staff retreats and in-services, as well as teaching team-building workshops for businesses and self-care days for nurses and social workers. One of the things that always stands out most to me during these workshops is that as adults, somewhere along the way, we've lost the sense that we are artists. If you get to experience Zentangle in one of my workshops, or perhaps somewhere else, you will rediscover that you are very much an artist. It's of course important and helpful for you as teachers to understand how meditative drawing can benefit your students, but it is of equal importance that as teachers, you can experience these benefits as well. If there was ever a better time to explore a healthy self-care outlet to help reduce stress and anxiety, it's now. Having worked many years at a psychiatric hospital and rehab, I've been able to see firsthand how Zentangle is way more than just a uniquely cool art form. I have tremendous respect for all our frontline workers during this pandemic, and this includes you. If you're interested in having a Zentangle workshop for your faculty, staff, or admin, please reach out and let me know. I'd be honored to teach you. Hello again.
You're back with us, Mimi. We can see you. So
Okay, did you hear the video? Because I saw something pop up on my screen.
we could hear the entire video. It was
Fantastic. Well, thanks for watching. And Barbara and Tom, thank you so much for supporting me and all these fantastic artists. I have to mention, I noticed Queen Noor, you rock, and your dress, your orange dress is completely covered in a Zentangle pattern that I teach. So it's kind of funny. And Troy, I think I got better at math just watching you. And Rachel, thanks for bringing history to life. So it's wonderful to see everybody's program. I don't see any questions down here, but something I do get asked is about the supplies. Sometimes people are wondering where they get the supplies for the students, etc. I supply all of the supplies that you need for class, and I'm happy to deliver them to your school or your class facilitator, usually about a week before the program, especially if you are a remote school or your students are partial remote. This gives you time to distribute them to your students. So again, thank you so much for watching. And unless there's anything else, Barbara, I guess I'll let the next.
No, that's it. That's terrific.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you
Take care,
so much.
everybody. Stay well.